American Fiction. Have you seen it?
I haven't.
Okay, it's phenomenal.
My mark of a good film or good anything is me not looking at my phone. And I was pleasantly surprised by how this film, which is very action-packed sci-fi, was very engrossing.
I just think it's going to be a very wholesome, nice little story that I'm looking forward to seeing.
I'll watch anything with Tom Hanks. I love him. I was a big fan of Game of Thrones, and I feel like these guys have really learned their lesson from the things that people didn't like about Game of Thrones.
I adore Joni Mitchell. I adore her music. I adore her in interviews. I think she is just one of the world's most special souls.
If you're interested in collecting art and you want to start that journey and you want to learn about artists from the region, there's almost 50 galleries or more than 50 galleries who are involved and showing off their art.
So today we are bringing you a very special episode of Culture Bites to mark the halfway point of the year.
So we're going to reflect back on all of the interesting art, culture, film, TV, everything that we've loved and what we're looking forward to in the future.
This is Culture Bites, coming to you from the National News in Abu Dhabi. I'm Farah Andrews.
And I'm Maan Jalal.
Hi.
Hi again.
Special episode.
Super special episode. I love these because we just get to talk about the stuff that we just consumed.
It's quite indulgent, but I love them. So we are going to look at, we're going to do some film recommendations, TV, books, concerts, exhibitions, and music, kind of looking back over the year, yeah?
Over the year. And then what we're looking forward to coming up.
Yes.
Yeah.
So should we kick off with film?
Yes. You
Do you want me to go first?
Yes. Go first.
Okay, so my film recommendation that I've already seen this year is American Fiction. Have you seen it?
I haven't.
Okay, it's phenomenal. It's really, really good. And it's also up your street.
Have I heard of it? Yeah, tell me.
It was award season buzz, but it was released technically at the end of 2023, but I saw it this year. It's a film directed and adapted by Cord Jefferson based on a novel called Erasure by Percival Everett. And it's it's about a Black author in the US who his books keep on being rejected because they aren't, and this is a quote, Black enough. It's like he's writing about his experience, his life. The character is called Thelonious Ellison, but he gets called Monk. And he keeps on getting told that his books aren't Black enough. But what people really mean is that they don't fit a stereotype of one version of the Black experience. So he writes a book that he kind of is taking the mick out of the
like a caricature
about the feedback, and obviously we know where it goes.
How I have not. This sounds great.
It's phenomenal. I can't recommend it enough. It got quite a lot of buzz over awards season. I watched it over the summer, and it's really, really, really good. It stars Jeffrey Wright in the main role, Issa Rae, Sterling K. Brown, and also Adam Brody from the OC. So yeah, it's phenomenal. What's your film from this year?
So this is shocking and it's random, but it's because I feel like I owe J-Lo an apology because a couple of weeks ago I went on Culture Bites and I was just talking about what is up with J-Lo. But then I watched Atlas on Netflix.
Okay.
And I was pleasantly surprised by because my mark of a good film or good anything is me not looking at my phone. I will not touch my phone and not look at social media, and I'm completely engrossed. And I was pleasantly surprised by how this film, which is very action-packed sci-fi, was very engrossing. I was really into it, really into the story. I was just very impressed. I felt like, oh yeah, J-Lo can be the Tom Cruise of, she's 52, 53, 54, around there. And she was doing her own stunts. She was, film, it was amazing.
I was J-Lo and Tom Cruise in one sentence. What is happening?
Action film and doing crazy stunts. It's basically about in the future where AI and robots are really part of our lives. And she is really she's like a scientist, and she's really against connecting with an AI because she has a history with something scary that happened with her as a child with AI. And then she's put in a situation where she must sort of connect through Bluetooth in her brain with an AI robot in order to achieve her mission. And the story is really about her relationship with this robot and how they sort of end up finishing this mission, for the greater good. Anyway, I'm doing
And it's on Netflix?
It's on Netflix. It's great. I know J-Lo's had a lot of flack this year, but watch this movie and I think it will remind you why J-Lo is entertaining to watch.
That's a good suggestion.
Yeah.
Coming up, from me, I am looking forward to a film called Here. Have you heard of it?
No, I haven't.
It's coming out on November the 15th, so we've got a little while to wait. And it's stars Tom Hanks and Robin Wright. And
great cast.
Great cast. A little throwback to Forrest Gump, you might say, with that casting. And it's basically it's like the 100-year history of families who have lived in one house in suburban America. And so it kind of de-ages Tom Hanks and Robin Wright, and so it kind of takes them to like the very beginning when they're dating. Then we have them as like old people, and I just think it's going to be a very wholesome, nice little story that I'm looking forward to seeing.
I'll watch anything with Tom Hanks. I love him.
It's directed by Robert Zemeckis. Please tell me I've said that right. Who also directed Forrest Gump with them both in, and Castaway. He's worked with Tom Hanks like 6 times.
Okay, so, sounds really good.
That's my recommendation.
My recommendation is, of course, Wicked, like the great film that's based on the Broadway musical that's based on a book, which I've seen and I've read. So I'm very excited for this film.
Do you know what I think about maybe once a week?
What?
You asking me if I'm a Wicked girly. I was like, and I had no idea what a Wicked girly was, but I was like, I want to be one.
You've never seen the musical?
I've seen the musical, yeah. So I'm going to become a Wicked girly by November 22nd.
It's starring Ariana Grande and, I've forgotten her name, but she's amazing, who plays Alphaba, which is the Green Witch. It's just look at the trailer. It's amazing. It gives you all the goosebumps. It looks like it's going to be a good time. The only like slightly frustrating thing is they're splitting it into 2 movies. So one this year and I think one next year.
Yeah, but double the fun.
Double the fun, exactly. Double the wicked time.
So moving on to television.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this is going to be no secret. I bang on about it, I think, every episode. But my favorite thing I've watched this year is The Bear. Yeah. Season 3, as good as season 1, as good as season 2. There's one episode, this is probably not like a good recommendation, but I maybe cried for like 48 hours after this episode. I just like kept on spontaneously bursting into tears. The acting in it is on another level. The scenes are beautiful. It takes you to Copenhagen. It takes you to some of the nicest restaurants in New York. I'm hungry and also wildly stressed while watching this show.
And emotional. Good combination, hungry and emotional.
I mean, for a TV show to be able to do that to me is next level.
Do you remember last week when I asked you why it was called The Bear?
Yeah.
Since then, I've discovered that that the Chicago's football team is called the Bears or the Bear. So I'm wondering, is there a connection?
And there's also the Cubs. Is that the Cubs?
Oh, is there? I mean, I'm not a sports.
I don't know. Maybe it's just like a Chicago. Like neither of us are looking that sporty right now. Maybe. So maybe that's another connection there. I like that.
Yeah. So animal stuff, I guess it will kind of the segue to my show so far that I've seen, House of the Dragons.
Loved it.
Have you been watching or no?
Yeah. Oh, I haven't seen. I'm not. So when we're recording now, I think it's finale week. I haven't seen that.
Okay.
But I'm up to date.
I'm up to date as well. I mean, again. My point of reference for a good show, am I looking at my phone? Absolutely not. I'm like watching every scene. And I was a big fan of Game of Thrones. And I feel like these guys have really learned their lesson from the things that people didn't like about Game of Thrones. I feel like they're being like, we need to pace, we need to show like character development. And I think it's a really wonderful, brilliant show. I have, as a meme I saw that was like, you can't spoil House of the Dragon for me because I don't know any of the characters' names. And that is me. It's true. Because I'm like, you could not tell, like, if you right now just told me something that happened in this last episode, I'd be like, cool. You'd be like, tall blonde guy or short blonde guy? Like, which blonde? I know Alicent, done. Yeah, Alicent, yeah. Oh, and Rhaenyra. They're like the only 2 names I know. But also all the other names are the same. They're the same, yeah. So many Aegons. So many Aegons and Aerys, something Rys, or... And the twins that have the literal same name. I think one of them is called Eric, but there were 2 twins with the same name. They have the same face, same name. It's very confusing. It is very confusing. But we know instinctually what's happening. Yeah. I'm following it and I enjoy it. Exactly, yeah. So, future? Right. This is a TV show that's coming this week to Netflix. So very, very immediate gratitude payoff here. A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. Is this based on a series of novels or a novel or something? Sure is. Yeah. From one of my favorite genres, the young adult genre. This is a young adult murder mystery. I think my niece is really into them and she showed me the trailer. It looks really good. Your niece has taste. I read the book. I love the book. It's basically about a girl at a school in England who starts doing a school assignment to try and solve a murder who she's convinced wasn't Like a past murder?
Yeah.
Like an unsolved crime thing.
There's a girl at her school that got killed.
What
She's
a great premise.
I know, it's so clever.
Yeah.
And she's convinced that the wrong person's in prison for it. And so she starts to do what she can to get that person off.
It's giving me Hermione vibes, but but without the magic. That sounds good.
The trailer as well. So that's it's the book and the trailer. The book and the TV show, the same premise. The trailer of the TV show looks phenomenal. It's a cast of like fairly unknown stars.
I love that.
And it's giving me like aesthetically and visually, it looks like that TV show Sex Education with Gillian Anderson. Which was great. Yeah. So I'm looking forward to that. What about you?
My future, I was torn between two. Ooh. One is 100 Years of Solitude, which is based on the phenomenal magic realism book by Gabriel Garcia Marquez. Mm-hmm. And it's a series on Netflix. Yes, it's a series on Netflix. It's 10 episodes, and it's like a beautiful story about one family over 100 years who create a village on the banks of a river, and all of these really strange things that happen to their family through generations. The book is phenomenal. It's like one of the most beautiful classic magic realism books you'll ever read. And I'm really excited to see from the trailer the production value and the imagery in the show. So that's one. The second series is, Emily in Paris.
Listen, we have high-low.
We have high-low. We are those people. And I don't have to really, you obviously know what Emily in Paris is about. So I don't need to give a premise for that. But, I'm just excited to see the frivolity, the fashion, the Paris, the Emily of it all. Last time was a cliffhanger.
The Emily of it all.
Last time we were left in a cliffhanger where she finally gets with the guy that she's supposed to get with, but his fiancée is pregnant. So that was the last episode.
Do you want me to shock you?
Oh, you know?
I've not watched it.
No. Really?
Yeah, I watched the first episode and I was like, nah.
It's just fun, dull stuff to watch when you're doing stuff. Give it a go.
Maybe I'll revisit. But I do, people love it, and the fashion
they
is
do. It
chef's
is.
kiss.
It's very good. So
let's move on to books.
Yes, you tell me your
book recommendations
that you've read so far.
My favorite book I've read this year. I've been quite good at reading this year. Mm-hmm. I've been very disciplined with myself. I've read The Future by Naomi Alderman. Again, it came out at the end of last year, but I read it this year. So
I've heard of this, but I haven't read it. What is it about?
It's phenomenal. It's basically about 3 fictional billionaires that are prepping for the end of the world. It's in a kind of timeline that's like slightly adjacent to what we're living in right now, but they have technology that we don't have. But it feels very familiar. So it's about 3 billionaires. They're kind of giving Gates, Zuckerberg, Musk, but they aren't those people. And they're all prepping for the end of the world, and like with their bunkers, which those people are, that they all have bunkers.
Must be nice.
Must be nice. And it's kind of like pre-apocalypse. It's kind of like the run up to, and you kind of get the sense that the apocalypse is coming, and it's absolutely sensational. I read The Power by Naomi Alderman, and that book is also fantastic.
Is that the book about women can only say a certain amount of words?
No. Okay, no. That's Vox. It's a very similar cover though. Yeah. The Power is about, this is me going down a rabbit hole, sorry. It's about, they discover that women have a physical power that makes them physically dominant over men, and how it just completely changes gender dynamics.
Interesting. She's a really interesting writer.
She's fantastic.
Yeah.
So that's my recommendation. What about yours?
Mine is this book. I have a visual cue with me guys today. Heart of the Sun Warrior by Sue Lin Tan.
We don't judge books by covers, but that's a stunning.
Beautiful cover. So this is actually a sequel to her first book, which is Daughter of the Moon Goddess. And the reason why I was really into both of these books is that it takes a famous Korean myth or fable and then like fictionalizes it and adds more characters. And I love that because I don't know anything about, Chinese or Korean or Asian fables. We know all of the European, the Brothers Grimm, and a lot of Arab ones. So I was really interested to learn about those fables from the East. So she did a really phenomenal job of making that really accessible and interesting. And there's like a lot of stuff happening with fantasy. I'm not going to go into this rabbit hole. The fantasy genre right now, where it's all about the bells and whistles, or it's all very like romantasy, which is sort of like 50 Shades of Grey meets Dragons. But this book isn't. It's like very much like just a lovely story of a girl who accidentally becomes like an immortal god because of her mother, and her trying to figure it out, and she's sort of in love with two very different people, and who's she going to end up with. And so it's just a very simple, beautiful story with like some lovely magical elements that are not all bells and whistles. It's just part of the story. It's very well written, very beautiful, very easy read. So yeah.
So the book I'm looking forward to that I have got on my reading list is a biography of Joni Mitchell's called Traveling on the Path of Joni Mitchell by a music journalist called Anne Powers. It's meant to be, I've not started it yet. It's actually out already. It came out in June. But it's a new release this summer. It's meant to be a very kind of like lyrical look back at kind of 8 decades of Joni Mitchell's life and work. I adore Joni Mitchell. I adore her music. I adore her in interviews. I think she is just one of the world's most special souls, and I cannot wait to read it.
Do you think there's going to be an Audible version? Because I think that might be interesting to listen to, because I know with Mariah Carey's one, there was a lot of like music that she was able to play.
Oh, I hope so.
That would be very cool.
That would be lovely.
Yeah.
Maybe I will get it in Audible because I do have an Audible subscription.
Yeah.
What's
so the
your
book
recommendation?
I'm looking forward to, I'm sure you're going to like it as well. It's called The Third Gilmore Girl, a memoir by Kelly Bishop. So Kelly Bishop is she plays Emily Gilmore. So she's the grandmother in the Gilmore Girls, if you're a fan of the show, which, I really enjoyed.
We both are.
And I think she, as an actress, Kelly Bishop, I don't know much about her, to be honest. I know she's very well known in the Broadway world in America. Like, she's a very actress with a lot of accolades, but not in film and TV, more on the stage. And I read the synopsis of the memoir written by her, and she sounds like she's had an insane life, married to a gambling addict, and then she was married to somebody else for a very long time who was like into horse racing, and she's done everything in the acting world. And so I'm just really interested to know who she is, because as you know, Emily Gilmore is such an interesting, funny character that you have to be interesting to play her.
Amazing. That's out, isn't it?
I think it's coming out. You can pre-order it, but it's out in September.
Very exciting. Yeah. I will also read that. And then we're going to talk a little bit about concerts. This is not going to come as any surprise. My highlight of the year so far has been the Eras tour. That is not just a highlight concert-wise. That's just a straight highlight.
Highlight of the year.
Obviously, Taylor Swift in Edinburgh. Best of nights, best of times.
Have you had any extra thoughts since then? Like, no, in hindsight, I realized, or no?
Like, I think about it constantly now.
Yeah. Thinking about it right now.
Constantly. So that kind of trip down memory lane with Taylor Swift. 10 albums of wonderful hits on that wonderful show. What a good time was had by all. I'm sure. Especially me.
For me, it was the pianist Gania Aslanian. Sorry if I butchered that name. So I never knew her before, but she came to Dubai at Toda, which is in Souq al-Bahar. Souq al-Bahar?
Yeah.
Yes. I was able to Souq al-Bahar. No, Medina Jumeirah. Sorry.
Oh, I did that butchering that taxi drivers always tell me off for. Medina Jumeirah. Madinat Jumeirah.
I think they both sound good. But yeah, Medina Jumeirah. So she performed some of the best songs from all of the Studio Ghibli films, which are all the animated films by Hayao Miyazaki, which I love. He's a Japanese animator. And all of those songs, all the scores by those films are created by the composer Joe Hiyashi, who's a Japanese composer. The music in those films are beautiful, and she's a pianist, and she just played them on the piano with really beautiful artwork, digital artwork inspired by those films like Spirited Away and Howl's Moving Castle. So it was a really lovely experience because it was full of, you would know, like when you're in a place where there's fans of the same thing, all enjoying the same thing, it was just nice.
That's lovely.
Very nice. And I love that concert hall, the Toda concert space is really nice.
It is a really nice space. That whole art space is lovely. What I'm looking forward to isn't a musical concert, but there are a lot to mention still coming up this year. But I am looking forward to going to see the British comedian Ramesh Ranganathan. Are you familiar with him? Yes,
with the glasses.
Yeah.
Yes, he's very funny.
So funny.
He's so good.
Coming to Coca-Cola Arena on the 25th of October. Super excited about that, and I'm definitely going to go see it. But I'm going to be really, really cheeky, and there's a few other ththings that I just want to give a very quick shout out to, and they include Macklemore, who's coming to Coca-Cola on the 4th of October. Chicago, I'm going to crow about that in here, which is coming to the Etihad Arena in September. British band Take That are coming to the Etihad on the 25th of October. And Sophie Ellis-Bester and her Murder on the Dance Floor is coming on the 26th of October to Dubai Opera. So there's so much to look forward to. Yeah. What about you? What are you looking forward to?
Mine is in the same, nostalgia vibe. So it's Lea Salonga. She's a Filipino actress and singer. She's amazing. So she is Grammy-nominated, Grammy-nominated Laurence Olivier and Tony Award-winning.
Her popularity cannot be understated.
It's insane. So she's mostly well known for being on the stage, but actually for Disney. She is the voice of Princess Jasmine singing in Aladdin. And
in the original?
Yes, in the original animated film. The singing voice, not the talking voice.
Yeah.
And she's the singing voice of Mulan. She sings a reflection song. So she is considered a Disney princess.
I'm learning so much.
Yeah, so she's also done, I think, one of the Tarzan songs from the Tarzan film, animated film. So she is just a really multi-talented. If you see her live music on stage, she's always talking to the audience in a fun way, not in an annoying way, and talks about how she got the Jasmine role.
I like it when they interact with the audience.
Yes, I do as well.
I'm here for personality.
Me too. Especially when they have interesting stories. Like, I want to know when she worked with Disney what that was like. So she's performing in the Coca-Cola Arena on November 10th.
Oh, there's so much to look forward to.
Yeah, super.
Let's talk art.
Art, yes.
So...
Exhibition
enjoyed.
I've
been to see. I went to go see Gauze by Hazem Harb, the Palestinian Gazan artist. It was a exhibition that ran at the Tabari Art Space in DIFC. I went to go see it in January. It was incredibly. It was a collection of some of his new work that were the Gauze works that were really inspired by what's happening in Gaza at the moment. He's
Palestinian.
Yeah, he's from Gaza.
Yeah, he's from Gaza. Yeah.
And that was very raw and powerful. And then it was also a bit of a career retrospective. It was quite a small exhibition, but it was phenomenal. It was beautiful. I was familiar with his work, but it was really nice to kind of have I'd seen his work more at kind of Art Abu Dhabi, at kind of like in like
pieces,
art spaces. But to have just a full collection of just his work and a bit of a small retrospective was really, really powerful, and I'm really glad that I went to go see it.
I was really lucky to interview him actually about that exhibition, his Gauze work. So if you go on our website and just Google his name, you can read about the work and inspiration behind it. So yeah, did I say Google his work? Search his work on our website. Search his name on our website. Yeah,
Google's what we say for search. Yeah.
So a show that I really enjoyed this year
This has been a hard one for you to narrow down.
Yes, it was, honestly. It was, because there's been so many great shows, actually. But one that really had me like, when I walked in, like, this is amazing, is the Syrian artist who's now based in Turkey. His name is Khaled Akil, and his solo exhibition, The Infinite and the Finite. He had these he has been working on this collection for 2 years. He was a photographer before, and he was very famous as a photographer. His work went viral. But his paintings, these massive paintings with so many different layers that are exploring all these ideas about infinite space and immortality and thinking and the number zero, and all this stuff sounds like really philosophical and complicated, but it doesn't really matter, because when you're there and you just see the works and they're massive and they look like beautiful skies and galaxies and stars, they're very immersive. And I always think about his work and think like, I wish I can afford it, because they're like really beautiful, and I think his work would be so amazing to hang, like if you have a massive wall. Yeah.
Oh,
very
really
cool.
Took me away there.
Yeah.
What a description. Thing I'm looking forward to. So this is a real call to action, because this exhibition, I'm going to go see it this week. And we're back at TODA, the Theatre of Digital Art, the Viva La Frida. Have you been to see it?
No, I haven't. I've seen similar shows like that, but so I know like how cool it will be with Frida's work particularly.
Yeah,
as well.
So it's like a retrospective of Frida Kahlo's life and work. The Theatre of Digital Art, TODA, is a very immersive art space, and it's we aren't going in there and seeing like a literal Frida Kahlo painting hanging, but it's massive projections and art installations and light work that look back at the very famous Mexican artists back catalogue, and kind of like I think what's interesting about Frida Kahlo is we now know her face and her so much better than we know her art, which hasn't happened with like your male kind of counterparts of hers at the kind of like same artistic time. When I was in Mexico, I went to go see her Blue House in Mexico City, which was really, really interesting. So I'm gonna go catch that before it closes. It closes officially it says it closes on July 31st, but you can make bookings until August the 2nd. So
They must have extended it, yeah.
I'm going to say August the 2nd.
Yeah. But yeah, it's really cool seeing those digital shows and actually being in the painting almost because of the way they organize it. I'm looking forward to Editions Dubai in November, which is
so exciting.
So exciting. So for those of you who don't know, Editions Dubai is a new art festival that's produced by Art Global, who also do Art Dubai. And it's basically special edition artworks and prints that are a more accessible price point. So if you're interested in collecting art and you want to start that journey and you want to learn about artists from the region, there's almost 50 galleries or more than 50 galleries who are involved and showing off their artists. It's a really great way to just get to know these artists and these works.
Amazing. Yeah, I'm definitely going to be checking that out. It's in November, right?
November 6th to the 9th in Dubai Design District, happening during Dubai Design Week.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Okay. Moving on. Last category, music. You are the music man.
I am. This is like, yeah, it's just, I'm not a music guy, but you go first.
Right. I'm playing into everything that all that we know about me. Obviously, my release of the year is Tortured Poets Department. I cared about it so much. Taylor Swift's new album. First listen, I did think, this all sort of sounds the same. Second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, blah, 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 blah. Everything is different. I love it. The album is phenomenal. I have a few favorites, including Black Dog. And yeah, it's just, I really, really like that album. And I have been quite immersed in it. I also like that she introduced the Tortured Poets Department set into the Eras tour. Oh. She did that for no one but the fans. Like there are no tickets left for that tour. So
how long is it going for now?
The tour until the end of the year.
Oh, God, she's busy.
She is. The woman's busy. But that's why I really like this. That album was like brought into the tour. There's I think 6 songs from the album that are on the set list now. And that wasn't it's not a ticket sell drive. Like the tickets are all sold. That was just for the fans to be able to listen to Tortured Poets on the tour. So that's nice.
Yeah.
I'm also going to give a special mention because I need to be more than just Taylor Swift dimensional. I am kind of into Brat by Charlie XCX.
Yes, you need to explain this to me because I don't understand a Brat summer and a Brat. I see the word.
Did you know we're living through a Brat summer?
I did not know this. I thought it was still a hot girl summer, but whatever. No.
So wrong. So what is the Brat summer? It's basically a do whatever you want, have a messy party summer, very like Y2K nostalgia. It's the antithesis of Barbiecore and the hot girl summer.
Okay.
It's like, so last year was pink and cute. This year is
Don't
green,
Try So Hard?
Green and grimy.
Okay. Okay. And Brat is the song?
Yeah, the song's, there's a song called, well, it's also the album name.
Okay.
And
it's Kamala Harris's slogan or
Well,
something?
no, it was, so Kamala Harris is obviously, we can't date ourselves out because this is changing so much. But she, when it was very first announced that she was going to be in the running to be president, and she was going to be the potential Democratic choice, so her team changed all of the coloring on her Twitter to Brat Green, but that's now gone back to more
so just
official
like a fun thing.
Red, white, and blue coloring. When I checked this morning. So yeah, basically, what's a Brat summer? It's just not a hot girl summer.
Got you.
You do you.
Yeah, and me is I don't really keep up with contemporary music. I listen to the same 10 people all the time, and then their contemporaries, and they're all from the 80s and 90s, and just scores of movie music and classical music. So I'm not down with the music, but I'm always interested to see what's trending in a really cultural way. So for example, the 6'5" Blue Eyes Trust Fund.
I'm obsessed with this being your musical choice. I'm looking for a guy in finance.
Yeah, exactly that. Because I was
6'5", Blue Eyes.
I wasn't going to, you can, because I wasn't going to. But I just found that to be a really interesting cultural moment because this girl just recorded this song and recorded these words and said, let's make this song of the summer. And it became, someone remixed it. It became the song of the summer. Within 2 months, she was performing it in, I don't know, Ibiza or somewhere.
Yeah, it's wild.
And what I think is interesting is that it's saying a lot about, what people are looking for.
Without taking us down another rabbit hole, that is what Fred again does. He takes these moments from social media. Not only he's a huge producer, he does so much, but he takes these clips from social and he does turn them into parts of really significant songs.
And for the future?
The album I'm looking forward to is Patterns in Repeat by Laura Marling. It is out in October, on October 25th. Laura Marling is an English singer who I absolutely adore. Her 2008 album, Alas, I Cannot Swim, is one of my favorites. A bit like you, I am like a real, like, I listen to like what I listen to. And Laura Marling's been on repeat for me for like, 2008? Probably, yeah, like the last like nearly 20 years. I remember finding her on MySpace. That really like dates us.
Okay. So
and I made her like my MySpace song for a while. And her last album was Song for Our Daughter, which came out in 2000, which was just a beautiful album.
Oh, nice.
So hopefully this next release does everything that I'm looking for.
My future one is, I'm just interested to see what the cultural impact Katy Perry's new album will have. I mean, so far apparently it's like not doing well and she's freaking out.
Quite controversial, that
yes.
album.
So I'm interested to see like culturally, what is that going to do? Is it going to be a blimp? Is it going to be a big thing? Is everyone going to forget about her? Should she just stop singing? It's just interesting to observe.
Well, that's it from us.
That's our recommendations.
That's a recommendations corner.
Yeah.
This has been fun.
Super fun.
I like doing this. We did it at Christmas time as well.
Yeah, and we'll do it again at the end of the year.
But that's it from us.
Yes.
If you enjoyed this, please follow us on your choice of podcasting app.
And don't forget to tell your friends and network all about us and follow us on social media.
Bye.
Bye.